Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Waas. The way we recognize letters is the same way as how we recognize them orally, as how they have a position in either a very fixed region that is about localization in space, or it is moving away, it's changing, and so we need a time aspect, or it is changing all the time and it's about some kind of behavior that we can follow up. The way how we recognize what it is actually also almost like we are building up a formula, and this building up a formula is the same way as how we build up the words with letters. How we recognize them orally is the same way as how we recognize them visually in space, time, or into a certain performance. And there's a complexity in it. This complexity becomes more apparent the more you have to deal with more and more things. And basically the first 9 letters are about localization, but all of these letters also have a direction. In this way it helps us to find the direction in space, to find the localization. Let's find out the direction, horizontal, vertical, diagonal. Okay, there is the fixed point. So we can use these directions not just in a time frame, but also in a localization. And the way we adapt to it when we find these positions, like in the last category, it's all about adaptation and see what fits and what does not fit and how we recognize it. Adaptations are also on each level less important, but we deal with these adaptations also on these localized positions. And it is a kind of balancing out. It's just like, not just like we find out a point in space, steady space, but we also adapt towards it, that if it is a bit further away, we adapt to it differently than it is very nearby, and it is very clear to adapt different to it. I already told you how also the localizations in previous videos, the localization of the first 9 letters are also having an association with adaptation. It's a bit more around a fixed point, but we still adapt. We balance these things out towards that fixed point. And it's interesting to focus upon that, because the behaviors, the adaptation process towards it, can be recognized and can be designed as well. And that's what I'm going to do. So we have these fixed points before us, and it's also this balancing out is still part of the whole game. Even when we just use one focal point, the 0 point, to going towards it is having a different adaptation process than having it, or then going away from it, like with A, T and K, or with all these 9 letters which you see here, seen from 2 sorts of angles, or from the 3 sorts of angles in balance. You can have the letters localized and explained also how we adapt towards these points of localizations. But let's focus upon an example of an adaptation process with the first 3 letters, the A, T and K. So A is around the 0 point, T is around the 0 point, K is around the 0 point, but it goes towards it. So it feels positive that we gain something. It's neutral when we are in the middle, and it's becoming negative. The localization points is the first thing that is important. That's where we're going to find our main important point. As you can see it in A, it's down there, so we go towards it, and it is not in balance, so it's less than 1. It's in balance in T, so it's 1, and it's more than 1, or it is away from the 1 point of orientation from where we can have a definition. So the K is negative, or it has already is already going away from that middle point. So going towards it is a helping direction. Going up to see, okay, here I have it, is the helping direction for T, the vertical, and the diagonal is also very good to show you which is already going away, where it's going towards the diagonal. So these things help. So it's not just localization, there are also some directions to point us into the right direction, even though A, T, and K are just in one point already sensible in that one point. And there are the three different ways to different points. What you also have is that adaptation point towards it, so that you say, okay, when I find that point, I have to adapt my vocal, my way of ability to discover it differently when I go towards it, or then when I find it, or when I'm already going away. The adaptation process is also different, and that's my focus of today. How shall I adapt? So how shall I adapt? I will put a figure in here, and I translate these 3 points actually as how I go towards something, how I am at a certain place, and how I go away to a certain place. Very simple with A, T, and K. So I could have them actually, it's like I go towards a point, I'm at the point, or I move away from the point, and I'm also getting out of balance for that when I go away. So these 3 movements fit very well to it. But I will use later to it as well when I will explain. Attack is the letter C. But I will first see, okay, how can I translate then this movement of adaptation to the word at? When I go towards something and I am going towards that point, so that I say now I am at it, it will be a combination of that A going towards it and T being at a specific place. So it is actually that adaptation. Yes, I am at it. So it is a slight movement towards it and finds its steady point. Very easy as that. You can understand how you can translate it into something that fits to that word. Well, for the word attack, which is then also with A, T, and K, we still need the letter C. So what is the letter C? It's in that, from the 3 angles, you see it, the movements of out of balance from the 3 angles, and I go towards the middle of the neutrality. So I find the neutrality between the going out of balance. That's the letter C, translated to an adaptation process in movement. So when I add up the movements that I do, so I have the A going towards it, I'm at it, I have T, I'm imbalanced, go again, I will move again within a certain balance and go out of balance or find that breaking point. Let's now put them more together so that I can see what it is. So going towards it in blue and going towards the negative breaking point with the red. Together it will create a form which is, of course, the balance between going towards it and breaking it, but really knowing from where I will have that have a good balance to really go from there to make the attack actually at that point. So when I put all these things together, here I have the resume at the right, it should be visible what I do. I go towards it with A, I'm finding my balance T, then I within the possibilities of going out of balance, still keep my balance with it, and then break through the patterns. So A, at, atta, attack. That's 2 other figures should have been maybe a little bit lighter to be, so I'm back to the balanced out figure which can go all directions, but I break it. I break not it that it cannot go to all directions. I break the pattern. With my attack. Very easy, but it was a very good illustration to maybe just show you, how do we adapt to all the letters and what do they do? How do we combine them? How can we understand them? How can we translate it to something completely different that fits to this letter combination? That was the example about for today. Thank you. Bye.